Hello, friends, and welcome back to r/IDontWorkHereLady. In this episode, we have 3 stories, and the first about a Walmart lady who thinks that if you work in the one store, you should serve her in all the stores. The second story is about a crazy lady who thinks if they don't tell her where the candy is, she can crash the store. And a third story about Karen, who can't tell the difference between an apartment and a restaurant. So here we go. Lady recognizes me from work and demands I run her an errand. I live in a town in the Great Lakes region where the quality of people has been going down since we moved here well over a decade ago. So I figured something like this was inevitable, but I'm still surprised it happened to me as it's next level stupid. I was at Walmart getting more propane for my outdoor burner I use to melt bismuth metal, as making its crystalline state is one of my minor hobbies. As I was finishing getting it paid for in the sports section, a lady, let's call her DL for dumb lady, came up to me and said, "I know you from M's," nicknaming the store for ambiguity. "Since you work there, could you run out there and get me some things?" This is Walmart. Walmart. Me. I'm sorry, but I don't drive yet, and our store doesn't do delivery anyways. Also, this is DL, I have no time to run out. I need you to get me groceries. At this point, I'm not sure how to properly respond. I have a very minor form of autism that only seems to affect my face-to-face social skills. I was raised like any other child to combat this, which I'm happy my parents did. I try my best, however, to calm the situation before it actually goes anywhere. Me. Ma'am, I don't mean to be rude, but I'm not your personal grocery errand runner. I should have started with something else. DL. I don't care. Get my groceries or I'll call the effing police or something. Wait, what? Guy at the sports register overhears that exclamation and realizes the two of us look nothing like each other, and I'm assuming he knows immediately at this point what's going on, as if he's dealt with it before. Apparently, because he did. We'll call him GG for good guy. GG, miss, please back off before I involve management. This is the second time this week. DL snaps her head in his direction like a banshee. Tell this man to go and get me my groceries. Hold on. First off, she knows me from a different chain, and now she's yelling at a Walmart employee to make me go to said chain and get groceries for her. Me. Ma'am, you're literally at a grocery store right now. Can you please stop causing a scene? You're making me more uncomfortable than I already am. DL. No, this place has bad service anyways. You know what? I'm speaking to the manager and getting both of you fired. GG and I exchanged the most flabbergasted of faces. GG. He doesn't work here, miss. I don't know what you're going on about, but... DL. Shut up, you SOB! I'm getting your manager! DL runs off screaming profanities to who knows where. GG and I continue to stand there with our jaws hanging. Sure, this town sucks, but this lady is a vacuum. Since I have my groceries paid for and in the bag, I speed walk to my car and my dad comes by a minute later. We get in and leave. I didn't want the confrontation to escalate any further, but I hope nothing bad happened after I left. I never heard anything new from that particular scene after the day. I did spot DL a few days later at work from the other end of the building, and she looked like she was hunting me down like a sniper of some sort. I slipped out of DL's field of view and told a manager about the previous confrontation with her, and they said I can help out in the back room until she leaves. Later I hear DL found our management and began screaming nonsense at them. She eventually got physical and started pushing them, at which point DL was arrested and banned. I haven't seen her since. Management was reluctant to believe me about her at first because of just how stupid someone would have to be to do what she did, but they bought all of it after that. I tried asking what DL said to them, but they said not to worry about it as they handled it already. And no, nobody in this story was injured. I don't scar easily, but this stuck well in my head. I don't retell it much, but it's a fun story to tell in larger groups to get a wide reaction. Angry lady really wanted some candy apples. So, I went to Aldi today on my lunch break from work. I was shopping for ingredients to make hard apple cider. I found the only apple juice Aldi sells without preservatives and loaded it up in my cart with a dozen half-gallon bottles and kept them in their cardboard boxes so they'd be easier to transport. There were a few other items I needed to pick up, so I pushed my cart through the store shopping for them. A woman noticed the boxes of apple juice in my cart and asked where I found them. I had nothing better to do, so I walked over to the apple juice display where she thanked me. Another woman immediately came up to me and asked, You used to have these candy apples in the store, but I can't find them. Where are they? I had no idea where they were, so I said, sorry, I don't know. I don't work here. Her eyes narrowed, and she responded, what do you mean you don't work here? I just saw you help that other person. Now, I'm in a t-shirt and corduroy pants and don't look at all as if I'd be working at this store. I could tell that this was not going to go well no matter what I said, but I attempted to be polite. I'm sorry, ma'am. She asked me where I found the apple juice, so I showed her. I don't actually work here. What do you mean you don't work here? I don't work here. I'm a customer, just like you. Just tell me where the candy apples are. At this point, it was getting weird. I really don't know where the candy apples are. I don't work here. You don't know where anything is in this store? I know where the apple juice is. Where are the candy apples? Ma'am, I'm sorry, I can't help you. I really don't work here. What's that supposed to mean? It means that I don't work at this store. I don't know where the candy apples are. I'm a customer, just like you. Then why are you stocking the shelves? She looked at the boxes in my cart filled with apple juice. I'm shopping. I'm going to buy what's in my cart. Nobody needs that much juice. You work here and you need to tell me where the candy apples are. At this point, everyone around us had stopped and was staring. An Aldi shelf stalker came over and said, ma'am, the candy apples were a seasonal item and I'm afraid we're sold out. The woman glared at the Aldi employee, then at me and said, indicating me, why didn't he tell me that? He doesn't work here, ma'am. The woman then roared in exasperation, pushed her cart into an aisle display of canned food, knocking it over and screamed, what is wrong with you people? I'm never coming back. She stormed out of the store, fuming. The employee gave me a WTF look, which I returned, then I proceeded to check out. I loaded the juice in the trunk of my car, hopped in the driver's seat, checked my mirrors before backing out, and noticed that the candy apple lady was in the SUV to my left, sitting in her driver's seat, sobbing. I rolled down my window and waved to get her attention. She noticed me, waited about 15 seconds, then rolled down her window. Are you okay, ma'am? I asked. Through sobs and tears, she said, I said I would bring candy apples to my grandson's party. I asked her when the party was to take place, and she told me, tonight. I told her that I had seen kits to make candy apples over at Safeway, and that if she made them now, they should be ready by the time of the party. Her eyes lit up. She looked at me and said, thank you. I said, you're welcome. And I went back to work. Not only do I not work here, no one does. This is my apartment. So basically, I live in a small apartment above a bar that has a really good kitchen. Over time, I've become friends with the owners who are really great people. This past weekend, there was a lot of noise coming from the bar at about midnight, so I came down to complain, and they said they couldn't do much about the noise. It was a crowd watching a game, but if I came in at some point during the week, they'd give me a free dinner as an apology. That brings us to yesterday. I'd gotten off work late and didn't feel like cooking, so decided to cash in that aforementioned free dinner. As I'm eating, things start to get really loud and busy again, so I asked for my meal to be put in a to-go container. The owner said I could just take the plate upstairs as long as I return it later that night or the next day. As I'm leaving, still shoveling fries into my mouth, I notice a woman trying to flag me down from her table. I assumed she was looking at a server behind me, so I took no notice and walked outside carrying my dinner. I put down the plate to open my door, and while I'm rooting through my pocket, I feel a sharp tap on my shoulder. L is lady, M is me. L, don't just ignore me like that. I ordered almost 40 minutes ago and I've got no food. This is unacceptable. This can't be true, considering even when it's packed, I've never waited longer than 30 minutes. Me, okay? Not really quite sure what she wants. L, what do you mean okay? What are you gonna do about it? I want my meal discounted for this. Me, now realizing what's happened. Oh, I don't work there. You need to speak to someone who does about doing that. I turned and opened my door. Lady, don't lie to me. She looked past me and up the stairs. I know you guys are just hiding up there instead of working. I'd like to speak to the owner. Me. Lady, this is my apartment. Please leave me alone. I was holding the door open while I bent over to pick up my meal. L. Pushing past me, charging up the stairs, screaming as she goes, you guys better get back to work. There are people waiting to be served down here. WTF. At this point, she's reached the top of the stairs and is now looking around my room, realizing the only person she was yelling to was my fish, who I'm sure wasn't in any mood to serve her anything after that. Me. See? Get the F out of my apartment. I was angry, tired, and fantasizing about the burger on the plate in my hand. L. Well, it doesn't change the fact that I've been waiting ages for my food, and that's unacceptable. Clearly, looking at my plate, you know the owners, so I think you should still talk to them for me. Me. WTF? Get out! I'm out of patience at this point and begin to walk towards her and try to usher her back down the stairs. L. Don't touch me! If you don't care, I'll find someone who does. She ran back down the stairs, slammed the door on the way out, however, not before kicking a pair of my shoes into the street, which I had to go down and collect. I saw the owner today, and I gave him back the plate, and he said the lady came back down and caused a scene in the bar, and eventually the bouncer had to remove her. I couldn't believe she still tried to act like she was right, even after she realized she was standing in my apartment, not a restaurant. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next video.